Hello there, I am Musty Hobbit, and there's nothing that a Hobbit loves more than another helping of Second Breakfast. So welcome back. And I know last week I promised sort of a further elevation of this pre-E3 hype video string of things, and I kind of made a decision over the last couple days that I'm just done hyping E3. I'm still super excited for E3 itself and what we have planned and the coverage and all of that. Everything is shifting so quickly. I'd rather use today to do kind of a two-pronged update for you, both on the moving front and on the PSVR front. A couple weeks ago, I had done a video that sort of talked about my early impressions of PSVR, and it was received super positively, so I'm looking forward to talking more about my further adventures in VR and kind of where I stand even now, just a few weeks from that point. One of the biggest things that came out of that video was a ton of recommendations from people, and people that I had never seen in my comment sections before. So to those of you who are now watching this video who recommended games in that video, thank you. I really appreciate it. The outpouring of positivity and recommendations out of the PSVR community is absolutely awesome, and I really like what you guys have going there, and I've actually been enjoying some of the videos that I've been seeing out of some of the recommendations that you have made. Some of the major comments that came out of that were to play Skyrim with better settings, and yes, I have gone in and spent a greater amount of time, and man, granted it was a couple of hours this time instead of just the opening tutorial level, but I have played it with actual locomotion, and I am really digging it. It took a little bit of getting used to. You're kind of, to those unfamiliar, you're kind of moving forward with the big button on the move controller. You're kind of guiding yourself. You can kind of trend left or right by moving the controller left and right. I found myself still using ranged attacks, so bow and arrow, and then switching to destruction magic when people get close. I feel like that's a really nice combination that caters well to that setup. But I'm getting the hang of it, and I understand why just doing the teleportation itself was kind of a poor decision out of the gate. I really wish they would have said something about that up front, or maybe I should have looked up some recommendations from people on the best way to play it. But I'm really liking that. I really want to continue on with that, and I plan to. Now, I'd also said that I had picked up VR Worlds. I have played a good number of those. I did play Scavenger's Odyssey a little bit, and I started to get a little my stomach started to feel a little bit of it. There's some of that gravity switching, jumping stuff that's happening. So I played maybe, I can't remember how far I got, maybe like the third actual level, where you're doing a lot of that jumping around the ship. That kind of made me say, okay, you should probably put this down for the night. But I have played the other things, the head tracking danger ball. I kind of like that. That was something similar to the Kinect. The Kinect had a one where you kind of would flail about and play Pong against the computer. So I did enjoy that. I've been liking, I did the shark encounter, which was more spooky than I anticipated, and I think there's that level of helplessness and claustrophobia that you get out of being underwater as opposed to being in space that works. And I had to kind of again remind myself that that you are not in a dive cage right now. You are okay. Funny enough, one of the moments when the shark brushed against the cage, my cat brushed against my leg, and I had a panic moment, and it's worth a good chuckle now. I played through the London Heist, which was awesome, and I hear that now there is a full featured London Heist game coming out. I'm really looking forward to that. I kind of enjoyed the driving along in that delivery van and taking out the motorcycle drivers and the other trucks and things like that. It all worked exactly like I would expect, and some of the shooting gallery stuff that they have built into that is really cool. I picked up Doom VFR, got a really good deal off of Newegg. They had it at half price, so I jumped on that, and I am about 45 minutes into this point. I just wanted to get my feet wet with it to kind of try it out. And again, unique control schemes I think are going to be the common theme here, right? Your strafing ability is there, and you have the ability to sort of boost forward a little bit, but your primary move when it comes to locomotion is going to be that teleportation. But they've done a really smart thing about it and built their teleportation into what were the glory kills on the console version, the non-VR version. And I'm really digging what I've played of that so far. As I understand, it's a few hour game as opposed to the full-fledged 2D version of Doom, but I'm liking it more than I thought I would. Unfortunately, I don't yet have the aim controller, so I would like to give that a try with that specifically and see if that does something different for that mobility. On the topic of the aim controller, I also picked up Farpoint. There was a great deal at my local shop that was effectively half price on PS4, used PS4 games, so I went for it and I picked up Farpoint, but I do not yet have the aim controller. I'm waiting to play Farpoint until I have that, so please know that I'm not going to give myself that inferior experience playing Farpoint, as many of you has recommended that it's aim controller or bust. And let me talk about Wipeout. Wipeout is perfect. And I'm very, very happy that Wipeout doesn't make me ill. I could see it just based on that speed. I could see it making people not feel so good. And what I found is with those comfort settings entirely off, it felt so real. And the speed is there, and the feeling of your when you catch air. And you actually feel your body kind of react to it as if you were in a car catching air. These are things that you can't replicate on a 2D gaming environment. And it does this so well. And I said this in last week's video. I'm going to echo it again. I really hope that Sony finds good implementations of VR like Wipeout for their other franchises and their other big titles that are coming out. I really want to see that kind of stuff. It is just spot on. And so right now, I'll kind of fold this into the move a little bit. So to those of you who are not aware, I take ownership of a new home on Monday, so I will be leaving this current game room, which has been kind of dismantled as of February this year, and will be moving into that. And I'm trying to evaluate what it is that I actually want to bring along, or what I want to have in that room with regards to screens. As of right now, my primary screen in this room, which is effectively a family room, is a 65-inch 4K television, which is awesome for 2D gaming. It does not a lot for me in VR gaming. And so the decision I'm trying to make right now is, do I let that become the primary television not in that room, say upstairs, living room, something like that, and go with something significantly smaller? I've attempted, and it worked, to run some of my other HDMI ready consoles through the PSVR, and to be honest, it's comfortable enough for me that I could see possibly playing a majority of my video games in this sort of den on the VR headset. And 3 months ago, I wouldn't have thought that this was even something that I would be remotely interested in. It's something I'm seriously considering right now. I just need to figure out what logistically that looks like. I'd probably need another secondary monitor just in case I don't feel like putting on the headset that day. That's kind of where I'm at with VR. I expect that I will continue to give you guys updates as I continue to experiment with this piece of hardware. I know some of you are on the fence. I know some of you have yet to jump at it. And from somebody who was a skeptic months ago, I am sold, and I'm really enjoying this peripheral and what they're doing so far, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they continue to expand on that. So I want to shift gears to the Move piece of this whole thing, not the Move controllers, but the actual Move. Like I said, we're moving. We take ownership on Monday, which means that starting Monday I will be in prep mode for getting things shifted over to that house and starting to get paint put on the walls and shelves assembled and that sort of thing, which is going to be a huge time investment out of me. So I'm trying to look at what content is going to be for the channel. I don't want to scare you at this point. I'm not going away. I just want to be realistic that you may not get the highly polished Thursday video that you're used to. I will definitely be putting content out. And I think what I want to do is have videos kind of chronicling the creation of this new game room. I think people really dig seeing creative approaches to game rooms, and this room itself is going to need some creativity to really make it work for me. It has everything that I need. There's just some weird corners. There's some structural stuff that I need to kind of consider, and trying to work around that is going to require some creative thinking. And so I plan to continue to bring you those, whether those are more in kind of off-the-cuff vlog type videos that are maybe done on my phone instead of done on the nice camera here. Maybe that's what happens, but I just want to let you know about that ahead of time. What I still have on the docket is the E3 coverage that I mentioned previously. We are moving full steam ahead on planning to do post-show recaps for each of the major press conferences immediately following those press conferences. For right now, the best spot that you could go is twitch.tv/Cartridge Club. That is the Cartridge Club's Twitch channel. We'll be streaming there for sure. Like I said, we'll be following every press conference and going on for maybe 45 minutes to an hour for each of them to kind of unpackage all the really great E3 news that's coming out, talk about what our impressions are of those things and what we're looking forward to in the subsequent press conferences. So look forward to that. As I mentioned, I'm done doing the hype train though for E3, and it's not that I'm not psyched. I want it to be here. I want it to be here soon, and it will be soon enough. Hey, to those of you who are still watching, who are here just for the PSVR stuff, thank you for sticking around. I hope you found out something interesting, and maybe there's some other content that you might be interested on my channel. To those of you who skipped the VR stuff and are just here to hear about the move, please look forward to future videos. We're going to be documenting this whole process of creating this new game room, and so I'm very much looking forward to bringing that to you in whatever form that it ends up being. But for now, thank you for coming by. I have been Musty. Take care of yourself. Be good to each other. Bye.